What's going on, people? That's what's there to say. The Premier League's finished. The season came to an end in dramatic fashion when it came to relegation and also more importantly, the winner of the title race between City and Liverpool. Great finish. And City won yet again, back to back. And I think City are going to be satisfied with the season, because obviously they seem to have more emphasis or more focus on the Premier League than Champions League. So it's always been, and that's fine, because there is a case to be made that the Premier League's harder to win because you're in constant week in week out. You have to be consistently great. You have to win every game that you can. Win the most games that you can out of all the 20 teams to win the title. And they've done that. So, congrats to City. Liverpool pushed them all the way. They both won their games. City were 2-0 down at one point against Villa. But then I think within the space of 5 minutes, City equalised and they got the winning goal. 2 goals from Gundogan and 1 from Rodri. Villa, I think, I can't remember who scored. I think it was Matty Cash and then and Coutinho. But it was a really good game. Back and forth game, it's probably arguably the second most title race drama on the last day. What am I saying? It probably was on the last day of the Premier League season. It certainly is the second. It ranks second in terms of the most epic moments in Premier League history, in terms of what was at stake, in terms of City the way City were down 2-0. Obviously, the best moment of Premier League history is the 93-36 moment with Aguero when he scored a winning goal against QPR to win City their first title. And it's just I think got to give credit to City because they do show fighting spirit when it comes to the league, and you have to respect them whether you like them or not. And obviously, there were teams out there. I mean, Liverpool did what they had to. Liverpool did what they needed to do, which was win, but obviously it wasn't enough because City won their game 3-2, which means that they finished ahead of Liverpool by 1 point. So I think this season a lot of luck went their way. There were some games where City didn't deserve to get anything out of the game. West Ham, for instance. They almost won that game 3-2, but I think Fabianski, West Ham goalkeeper, saved the penalty from Mahrez. But the equaliser that City got was just so in the game before last, or the game two games before. I think it was the game before their last game against Villa. They were 2-0 down and they got one back, and then the equaliser was an own goal from I can't remember who it was, from a Western defender. Can't remember who it was, but honestly, and if I forget, I think the Wolves game, not the one where they smashed them 5-1, not the one at the Monolith ground. It was at Etihad when they won 1-0 thanks to a penalty, which shouldn't really have been awarded. Really, that was a stupid twist, stupid VAR decision to make. That shouldn't have been a penalty, but it is what it is. Got the penalty there. They should have had a penalty against them at Everton, But listen, in life you always need luck, and that's what helps City, to kind of a little bit, because City are a great team, and they're going to be looked at as one of the greatest Premier League teams of all time. So yeah, yeah, yeah. So excuse me. So yeah, give credit where it's due. Just give credit where it's due. City deserves to win that game. They won a title, and they are league champions. Champions once again, back to back. That's 4 out of 5 for Pep Guardiola. So and they've got and now they've got Erling Haaland. So I mean, it's looking like it's going to be game over for the Premier League. Now they got Haaland. Wait and see. But I think they're going to rebuild in other areas as well. I think Zidane going to leave. Gundogan as well. So yeah, expecting some more business from City. Liverpool. I've always respected Liverpool as a club. They're my second favorite team that I appreciate. Yeah, they gave City a fight, but I do believe that those draws against Brighton, draw against Spurs, at Liverpool, at home, didn't help, and I do feel like in the games against Man City, they were kind of reactionary. What I mean is that they wouldn't take the front foot. It's always like, well, in the matchup, in the second encounter in the league, that is, at the Etihad, it felt like City were always on the front foot, and then Liverpool will react. And yeah, that is showing character, but I feel like sometimes if you want to like get that target of winning the Premier League, you need to go on the front foot when you have the chance, or you need to take your chances and not make bad calls, bad choices when you're in the attack. And I felt that that's what happened during that game, which finished 2-2. But I feel like Liverpool were very reactionary, and City could have won it in the end. But won the game, that is. They could have easily won that game if Mahrez had been more clinical. So yeah, and so Burnley, as for relegation, Burnley got relegated with Norwich and Watford. So they lost 2-1 to Newcastle, who are going to improve next season with the new investment from the Qatari ownership. Credit to Leeds, they stayed up. They've survived relegation. A lot of the media pundits were kind of mocking the manager, making fun of him, calling him Teleso, stuff like that. And so yeah, it's just I think he hasn't really proved his doubts, his critics wrong, because he hasn't had the full season. He came in April. It's very hard to kind of judge a manager when he hasn't had a full season. So Jesse Marsh, we'll see what he does next season. As far as top 4 is concerned, Tottenham are in it. So it's Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham. And quite frankly, it may not stay that way, because Man United are going to improve, because they had a poor season, but they've got a new manager now, Ten Hag. He's for sure is going to improve them, make them better. And unfortunately, Arsenal, being the banter club that they are, they gave Arteta a new contract, even though he failed to qualify for the top 4. And you have idiots, retards saying, "Oh, the fact that Arsenal have moved from 8th to 5th is progress." We're not really, like, obviously being so disingenuous and ignoring the context that we lost the same amount of games as last season, and we practically almost finished on almost the same points as last season. So it's not improvement when he shouldn't have been down there in the first place in 8th. We shouldn't have been in 8th last year, period. So, yeah, this manager Arteta is an idiot, he's a clown, want him sacked. But obviously it's not going to happen because they're giving him a new 3-year contract. So, it's really frustrating, but what can you do? What can you do? Yeah, I'm really annoyed, really peed off. Tottenham are going to improve as well with Antonio Conte. I think Chelsea would improve. They'll make I think after, now that they've set the new ownership, I think they're going to start making their movements with certain players that need to be released, which should be Pulisic, by the way, but that's another story for another day. But yeah, Arsenal, crap, hot potato garbage. Long the fans who are flip flop or who either are just pure hardcore Arteta fans, which is ridiculous because he's an idiot and he's done nothing but being a failure, quite frankly. So along with Edu and Vinay, there's 3 stooges. But yeah, it's been a good season, exciting one from the best league in the world. Yeah, I think all we've got to look forward to now is the Europa League. Frankfurt won that one. The Conference League, can't remember who won that. I think it was Roma. But now this Saturday we've got the Champions League next. Champions League final between Liverpool and Real Madrid. So take care. I'm gonna just sit back as a neutral and watch the game as a neutral, which I always love. Watch football as a neutral because I can't stand Arsenal. Yeah, so that's it. Take care. God bless. Take care.